The longer I live, and I've lived a long time, hopefully I'll live a little bit longer yet, the more aware I become of my own sinfulness. It's interesting. The older you get, the more perceptive you are of how far short you really do come. So let me tell you one very embarrassing example from my own life. It goes back a few years, so it's not quite as embarrassing as if this is something that happened this week. But if you want to hear some of those, just go talk to my wife. She can update you on this week's events. But back in 1986, Linda and I went on our first trip to Israel. Here's a picture of us that somebody took at the airport. And if you look at my face there, I was positively giddy, and I really was. Well, we ended up flying overseas, and this was the way Linda spent her time, dreaming about me, sleeping there on the plane. We had a wonderful time in Israel, 12, 13 days, whatever it was, February 1986. And then on the way back, the way we were routed was from Tel Aviv through Milan, Italy. And in Milan, we took on a whole group. There must have been, I would say, about 30 of high school students, and they were all speaking, I guess, what language do they speak in Italy? Italian. And these kids were absolutely hyper. They were going to some sports event, I don't know what it was, and they were yelling and disruptive. I remember when, you know how when you take off, they tell you to put your seatbelts on, we're taking off? These kids wouldn't do that. They were jumping around. At the airline staff, they basically just let them go on. They couldn't keep them quiet. It was terribly frustrating. And I thought, well, they'll settle down as, it's a 6-8 hour flight overseas. No way. And here is me trying to get some sleep as we flew through the night. And I was absolutely impossible. I don't think I got 30 seconds of sleep because of the incredible noise of those kids in that airport. We landed in O'Hare Airport in Chicago. And I remember I got off the plane, and you were pushing these carts with your luggage on it. And right in front of me was one of the kids that was on the plane who was absolutely the most noisy of all of the kids. And I remember thinking, I'm going to get even with that kid. And I ended up banging him in the back of his heel with my cart. Felt so good. He turned around, and Linda, I didn't say this, but Linda said he swore, he knew enough English to swear, and also called me an American. So, and then the following Sunday, I came to my church in Stonewall, and I preached on loving our enemies. Well, I felt justified in what I had done. And I remember thinking, you dumb kid, it serves you right. I'm getting even with you. Now, most of you will agree with the statement in the Bible, and it says, there is no one living is righteous before you. Proverbs 20, verse 9, who can say, I have kept my heart pure, I am clean and without sin. Okay, I can confess my sin here to you. You can think of your own, right? There's all sorts of things in your life.